Santham Academy. Welcome to Digital Kaksha. To get updates on new videos, click the subscribe button and the bell icon.
In the previous lecture, we have studied about 3 methods of asexual reproduction, that is fission, fragmentation and regeneration. Today we will study next methods of asexual reproduction. First one is the budding. This is the 4th method of asexual reproduction in lower living organisms. Budding is the method in which an outgrowth called bud is formed on the parent body. This bud slowly grows, enlarges in size, and after some time on maturation, when it becomes mature, at that time it detaches itself from the parent body and develops into a new individual. So here reproduction is taking place with the help of a bud. So the name of the method is budding. So what is budding? Budding is the method in which an outgrowth called bud is formed on the parent body, and this bud develops into a new individual. Example of organisms which reproduce by the method of budding are hydra and yeast. Yeast is a unicellular organism and it shows reproduction by the mode of budding, and hydra is multicellular organism where organ formation has started but well developed body parts are not there. So both different examples you can see, hydra and yeast. Both these organisms reproduces by the mode of budding or by the method of budding. As you can see, I have drawn the diagram of hydra on the board. So this is the diagram of hydra on the board, you can see. So on the parent, this is the parent body or the parent hydra. So on the parent hydra, a small outgrowth, as you can see here on the board, a small outgrowth develops. This outgrowth is known as bud. This outgrowth is known as bud. Now this bud slowly grows in size and it enlarges. After some time, when it matures or when it develops fully, at that time it will detach from the parent body. This little hydra or the bud hydra will detach from the parent hydra and develop into new individual. As you can see here, this hydra, little hydra, has detached from the parent body and now it is developing separately into a new individual. So this is the method of budding, which is a type of asexual reproduction. Examples: hydra and yeast. Okay. Next mode of asexual reproduction is spore formation. As the name suggests, here reproduction takes place with the help of microscopic structures called spores. Okay, these spores are present in sporangium, and under favorable conditions, these spores develop into new individual. Example of organisms which reproduce by spore formation are different types of fungus. Example, bread mold. In the rainy season, you must have seen green patches growing on a slice of bread kept outside. So what are those green patches? These are the tiny fungus growing on the bread. and the name of this fungus which grows on bread is known as bread mold. Another name for bread mold is rhizopus. Okay, so this bread mold grows under favorable condition, that is the required moisture for growth. In the rainy season, you will see lot of fungus growing on different things, on the leather items, wood, bark of the trees, etc., on the walls of the houses, etc. So what is the favorable condition for the growth of the fungus? The favorable condition is the moisture. They need moisture for their growth. So when the conditions are favorable, fungus grows easily. But in the dry weather, in the dry conditions, fungus does not grow. Why does? Because it is dry conditions are unfavorable conditions for the growth of the fungus. So under unfavorable conditions, fungus forms spores, and these spores are tiny microscopic structures, and these spores are enclosed in sporangium, which is a bulb-like structure. So when the conditions are unfavorable, as you can see, I have drawn diagram on the board of the bread mold. So this is the sporangium, a bulb-like structure, and these are the tiny microscopic spores present here. So spores are present inside the sporangium. So when the conditions are unfavorable, that is high temperature, dry weather, etc., then at that time the spores are enclosed inside the sporangium, that is the bulb-like structure. When conditions are favorable, when moisture is present and temperature is low, at that time the sporangium, this outer bulb-like structure, will burst open and all the spores will be released out into the air. And then they fall on different surfaces, moist surfaces, and they grow into new individuals. So this method of reproduction, which takes place with the help of tiny microscopic structures called spores, is known as spore formation. So this is the next method of asexual reproduction, that is spore formation. Example of organisms which reproduce by spore formation are different types of fungus. Example, bread mold, also known as rhizopus. Next mode of asexual reproduction is vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation takes place in higher organisms like plants, not all the plants. Plants which do not bear seeds. So they reproduces by the mode of vegetative propagation. Example, money plant, bougainvillea, etc. All these plants do not have seeds, that is, they do not have reproductive parts, so they reproduces by the mode of vegetative propagation. What is vegetative propagation? It is the mode of reproduction in which vegetative parts of the plant like root, stem and leaf are involved, and from these parts a new plant develops. So what is the meaning of vegetative? Vegetative means non-reproductive part of the plant. As you all know, flower is the reproductive part of the plant because it bears the male gametes and the female gametes. So rest all parts of the plant, that is root, stem and leaf. All these are known as vegetative parts of the plant. There are two types of vegetative propagation: natural vegetative propagation and artificial vegetative propagation. Natural vegetative propagation in that plant itself reproduces from its root, stem and leaf. There is no involvement of human being in the process of reproduction. Second method is the artificial vegetative propagation, where human beings are involved. The gardeners, they produce the new offsprings by the process of vegetative propagation using root, stem and leaf. So, first we will study about the natural vegetative propagation. As you all know, the parts involved are root, stem and leaf. So, first the example of root is sweet potato, Dahlia. These are the plants which reproduces from their roots. So, from the root, new plant will arise by itself. Sweet potato is a modified underground root, and it under the soil it spreads, and from one root many new plants will develop. Second part of the plant which is involved in vegetative propagation is the stem. So here the stem can be a runner like grass, or it can be a tuber like potato and ginger. So, if you must have seen the grass plants, grass plants, they spread in the whole soil and they spread in the lawn or the place where they grow. So, which part is involved in the process? It is the stem of the grass which is spreading in this soil and it is producing new plants. Another example of stem is the tuber. Tuber is modified underground stem. Example, potato and ginger. So these are underground modified stem and they reproduce from the stem. So if I take a piece of ginger and put it in the soil, after few days I will see a new plant growing. I will see the leaves etc. coming out, and it will develop into a new plant, and under the soil it will spread. So ginger reproduces from its stem. It's not the root, it is the stem. Same potato. You must have seen eyes on the potato. Small outgrowth on the surface of potato. If you cut a slice and put it in the soil, so it will develop into a new plant. Or even under the potato itself will develop new plants from these buds, or which we call it as eye of the potatoes. Next part of the plant which is involved in the process of vegetative propagation is the leaf. Example of leaf is bryophyllum. Bryophyllum, as you can see here in the diagram, bryophyllum leaf reproduces the offsprings. So on the margin of the leaf, as you can see in the diagram, on the margin of the leaf, small adventitious buds grows. They will grow in size, and after some time they will detach from the leaf surface, they will fall into the soil, and then they will grow into a new plant. So this is reproduction from leaf. Example, bryophyllum. So in all the cases, the reproduction in all cases, reproduction takes place with the help of adventitious buds like in bryophyllum, etc. So these are the various parts of the plant which reproduces naturally by the mode of asexual reproduction. Second type of vegetative propagation is artificial vegetative propagation. This can be done by using three methods. First is cutting, second is grafting, and third is layering. So these are the three different methods which can be used by a gardener to produce new varieties. or to develop offsprings. First is cutting. Cutting is the most common method where we take a cutting of the branch or a healthy stem and then we put it into the soil. After some time, this cutting will develop roots and leaves and it will start growing as a new plant. So here we are using a cutting or a small piece of the stem or the branch of the plant which we have to grow. So plants which can be grown easily by method of cutting are rose, bougainvillea, etc. These all can be easily grown by method of cutting. Second method of artificial vegetative propagation is grafting. Grafting is a method where we can get a desired variety of a plant. For example, in my garden, there is one rose plant with red rose and there is another plant with white rose. And I want to develop a new variety in which the red petals have the shading of white. So how I can do this? This can be easily done by the method of grafting. So grafting is a method where we can develop new varieties with the desired characters, with the characters or the features which we want in the offspring or in the new plant. So how grafting is done? First we have to take a rooted plant. A rooted plant is known as stalk. So in the stalk, that is the rooted plant. For example, red rose is my rooted plant. So in red rose, I want the shading of white. So red rose is my rooted plant which is having roots in the soil. And I will remove all the branches, thin branches, etc. and I will leave only the main stem of the plant. And then I will make a V-shaped cut on the top of the stem. And now this is my stalk, that is the rooted plant. Now I will take a cutting of the desired plant. So here my desired plant is white rose. So I will take a cutting of white rose plant and I will also make a V-shaped cut in that, and after that I will place that cutting in the rooted plant. This cutting is known as scion. So the rooted plant is the stalk and the cutting is known as the scion. And now I will place scion in the stalk like this, and then I will wrap it with the soil, mixture of soil, manure, etc. And then I will cover it with a cloth or a polythene so that the soil does not fall off, and I will leave it. After few days, we will see new leaves start growing in this plant, stalk and scion, because the stalk and scion have joined together. In this cut region, new tissues have developed, and now the stalk and scion has started growing as a new plant. So leaves will start developing, it will grow, and when it will give flowers, the rose flower will have red petals with the shading of white. So in this way, I can obtain a desired plant by the method of grafting. So grafting is a very useful method where two different varieties can be easily mixed together. So there is the stalk, the rooted plant, and there is the scion, that is the cutting of the desired plant. Next method is layering. Layering is a method which is mostly used in plants where we want the exact copy of the parent plant. So there can be two types of layering, air layering or it can be ground layering. Ground layering, example jasmine, chameli. So ground layering is useful in the plants which have the flexible branches like jasmine. So as you can see, we will take lower branch of the plant and bend it down into the soil, press it under the soil. The tip of the branch will be left above the soil. After some time, this tip will start growing and it will develop into a new plant. When it starts developing into a new plant, it starts growing, then we will cut this bent branch and separate the offspring and the parent plant. So from one single plant, new offspring is developed by bending the branch under the soil. So in this area it will develop roots and the tip will start growing and it will develop into a new plant. This is the method of ground layering, which is very useful in plants with flexible branches. Second method of layering is the air layering. Air layering is also known as Guti. So here we will take the branch of the desired plant. For example, in my garden there is a mango plant, a very good quality mango plant, and I want offsprings with the same quality. So I can use the method of layering, that is air layering, which is also known as Guti. Because if I will use a seed, then the quality may change because there is mixing of characters. So we will use the layering method. So I will select a branch and then I will cut a ring on one side of the branch and I will cut another ring on another side of the branch, and then I will remove the outer layer of this area and then I will wrap this whole region with the mixture of soil, manure, etc. and then I will cover it with a polythene or a piece of cloth. I don't have to cut it into pieces, only I have to remove the outer layer in this region. After some time, the roots will start growing in this area and then it will start developing as a new plant. Now I will cut this branch and separate it from the parent plant, and now I will put this piece into the soil. It will already, the roots have started developing. So these roots will start growing in the soil. The stem will start growing and then leaves etc. will start growing and it will start developing as a new plant. So this is the method of air layering, because here we are, the branch is in the air, so it is known as air layering, and this is also known as Guti in common language. So there are three methods of artificial vegetative propagation: cutting, grafting and layering. Grafting is the method by which we can get plants with the desired characters, where new varieties can be produced. And layering is the method where we will get the exact copy of the parent plant. So it is very useful in plants like mango, lemon, etc. And layering can be of two types: ground layering and air layering. So with this, the vegetative propagation in plants is complete. So with this, we complete the topic of different modes of asexual reproduction. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like, share and subscribe for more.